Let's get to Missouri. Let's get to the stuff we want to watch. Started off the BC offense with their bread and butter. Billy, what is Missouri's bread and butter?
It's that outside zone, man. The Eli Drinkwood special.
Billy, you gotta love it. The outside zone. What's that? 5 or 6 yards. That's a winning play for an offense. No, we're taking a lot of time, but I'll quick teaching point on this one.
We got all the time in the world. Don't worry. Don't sweat it,
Okay,
brother.
awesome. Okay, awesome. When we're running outside zone here, if I'm the offense, it's not, you know, looks like there's a lot of space outside. Ultimately, I don't want to just run the ball outside. I want these guys to overrun it, which they do, and then bang, cut back. This guy right here might be his job. Both these guys really too. Might be their job to box, like I was talking about earlier, force the play back in. What they're doing really isn't boxing the ball because they're not really forcing him to hesitate that much. They're just running outside, and this dude's still he has to cut back a little bit here, but he's still got a lot of momentum going where he wants to go. So this isn't really an effective boxing of the ball, Billy. If you're
No.
Boston College, we saw number 6 do it. Expect them to have an overhang down here, maybe set whatever sort of strength call they have to number 80, and just you can do one of two things, Billy. You can either be really aggressive, try to stand him up, box the ball, or like we saw in that second clip, go in there, spill the ball, let a linebacker scrape outside.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I expect Missouri to face a much more aggressive defensive front than they've seen in the first 2 games. So we'll see if that outside zone still works.
What are some ways maybe Missouri could go about countering it? If Murray gets a little more aggressive, we'll see this toss here first, and then maybe we can get into that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this one real quick, then I answer that question, Billy. Billy, I love giving these little quizzes. What do you see about this formation?
For Missouri, it's that tight bunch that we saw, but BC used a couple times, and again, only 4 eligible players in the game. You got an extra offensive lineman lined up there on the left side.
Yep, actually, sort of a trick question. There are only 3 eligibles on this play, Billy.
Is that right? Yeah.
Look at it again. Lyman.
Oh yeah, Norfleet's covered up there too. Yeah, and Mackay.
2 eligible receivers. But this is a double Army call. This is one of the rarest things out there. Missouri is literally telling you we're running the ball. Now, one thing it's kind of hard to tell in this clip. You can kind of see by these guys, these defenders getting their spot late. They ran to the ball really quick, lined up in this. If I was a defensive back, I'd be really confused too. I mean, this is really weird what they're doing. They're all just getting on the ball, telling you we're running the ball. But they're completely not ready for this play. Expect Missouri to try to come out quick like this, get in a huddle, come out real quick, try to confuse them. That's a big advantage an offense has, lining up really quickly. But like we said, Billy, look at 3 and 13 here, Billy. They don't get touched by one Missouri player, but they're completely out of the play just based on how Missouri lined up for this play. Boston College did a good job of this. Like we talked about, walling everyone off. Don't even have to touch these 2 guys because they're taking themselves out of the play. And then bang, we got lead blockers with DBs. I mean, damn. Sorry, 14. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, Membu is, you got about 150 pounds on him.
Yeah, I'm right. Here, this guy sees what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. He kind of takes a step back, to be honest. I can't even think of what's going through his head right there. Take one for the team, maybe live to see the rest of the season. We're not supposed to win this game anyways. It's a good play from Missouri. I like that play.
I was surprised as a fellow 14, you couldn't feel that one through the grapevine. No, there's no cosmic connection.
I think I got woken up in my sleep a couple of times 2 weeks ago. Whenever the game was taking a little nap. Maybe that's what it was. That's a big boy coming right at him. But yeah, you talked about Billy. You talked about ways. How are we going to counter if they know this outside zone is coming? Well, Billy, we'll just throw the ball really quickly. Let's do a little RPO. Another bread and butter play of Missouri. Like I was talking about a little bit earlier, I would expect Boston College's cornerbacks to be a little bit more aggressive, and even when they're off, have quicker breaks, stronger tackling than this guy does, Billy. But this is an effective counter to offenses knowing, or sorry, defenses knowing, what your bread and butter run play is.
Yeah. And that's something we saw over and over against Buffalo. Just that easy access, whether it's just a little hitch or an out, finding Theo on that field side.
Exactly. Yeah, they love getting Theo on the field. There are times like we saw a couple of those Florida State plays where cornerbacks playing off. If the cornerback's playing off inside leverage, like that play I was talking about earlier, I can go back and find it, but I'm not going to do that. Where that cornerback was playing inside leverage, quick little out, probably a touchdown. We'll see how Boston College is, at stopping those RPOs. I think product quarterback can really do. This play, next play, circle this guy right here, Billy, because most outside zones, this guy's doing what a lineman does, what a tight end does in an outside zone. He's running out, blocking the overhang. Let's see if this will play. Oh, not this play. If I'm Boston College's defensive coordinator, sorry, I have the names down here somewhere, but I keep forgetting them. Tim Lewis. So if I'm Tim Lewis, I'm making sure my linebackers are not just reading the guard, but also reading number 80 or Billy, because we're not going to pull the guards that much. We run outside zone, right?
Yeah.
This guy, however, he's going to take you to the ball. These linebackers, this guy might see it. These guys are looking in the backfield, looking at the guards. Bad news for Buffalo. And like we said, Bill, you're talking about counters to team knowing that you're running an outside zone. That play right there, great counter to that. I mean, really, you only need if you're in an outside zone. Sometimes you can do the little jet, and sometimes you can do a quick RPO. I mean, that's pretty effective because the defense can't cover three things at once. Boston College, obviously, a better run stopping team than these two teams are, but hopefully those counters work out well for them. For Missouri, it is. Oh wait, here it is, another counter play action, Billy. Like we were talking about earlier with Boston College. Tight splits. Where do you think the ball is going?
It's probably going to that flat based on our talks earlier.
Look at that. I mean, see all that? See all that? I should have circled it. I didn't mark this one up. I should have circled it.
Yeah.
Look at all that space. Look at all that space. I mean, these cornerbacks, if I'm Tim Lewis, I'm Tim Lewis, I want these cornerbacks down here being really aggressive in the flat. Not only can they stop these quick flat routes, they can also, help out on that outside zone run. I mean, I think, looks like they're playing cover 3, but they're nowhere to be seen. This is an easy completion for Missouri. 6 or 7 yards. Also, since we know Boston College loves their man-to-man, I mean, if this is man-to-man, this is probably like a 20-yard game. If you've got a cornerback,
it's a lot of traffic to fight through.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get here to here before he gets to here. I talked about Usain Bolt earlier. Do you think you could do that, Billy?
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be tough.
Yeah,
that's a good answer. It'd be tough.
And how important when defending that outside zone is that first step for a defender? Knowing that you can get there quickly and beat the offensive lineman so they can't get you on that inside shoulder.
Oh, it's huge. It's the most important thing, Billy.
Okay.
I wish I had more coaching tips for a defensive lineman. Like I said earlier, I've never played it, but yeah. Billy, I'll quiz you. I quizzed you earlier. Have you seen that last play, Billy? You saw it, bang. Empty. I'm going to step back in zone. I'm going to throw the hitch. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that play with Florida State, right? That one time BC dropped into man. It was 3rd and medium, and DJ tried to hit the tight end. Looked like, throw a little bit off the mark, but still could have caught the ball. But again, that's that timing thing we were talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Timing. Good point. And another point on this one, they're showing you they're in zone. There was a play earlier where I think Florida State got an empty, just ran hitches. I can't remember if they completed the pass or not, but bang, they're basically giving you this throw, bang, completion, timing. Are we gonna get it down? Missouri's looked good so far. Hope they didn't carry them in BC. All right, now this one, wish we had the beginning of the clip, but at least we got all 11. Bang, they get out quickly. I'll quiz you again. Maybe not a quiz, but what's different about this play, Billy? I don't think the fans can tell yet, but I know you know the answer. What's different? We got out quickly. I'm Buffalo. I'm freaking. Why am I freaking out? If I'm this guy right here, Billy, why am I freaking out?
Yeah, tough angle. You can't really see the numbers, but that's Luther Burden next to Brady, something Mizzou's done a decent amount of, and you got a running back all the way down there as the one receiver on the field side. But now all of a sudden, if you're a linebacker, you've got to figure out why the heck number three's in the backfield and what you're going to do if he gets the ball.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, Billy. That guy is not trained in running fast. He's trained in hitting people, Billy. He's not going to be able to keep up with Luther Burden. Don't think Buffalo runs man on this play, but on passing downs, we know Boston College loves to get in that cover one look. If this is cover one, Billy, you've got a linebacker on Luther Burden. You're coming out to the line quick. We talked about it earlier. If you can, get out of that huddle quickly, they don't have time to adjust. I really like my matchup of Luther Burden being guarded by a middle linebacker, especially running. I mean, he runs out real quick. If I'm the linebacker, exactly what he does. Oh, I got to get out here. This gets fast. No, I'll just go back in. That could be a big play. Really like that play. You talked about putting Luther Burden running back, going out there quick. Really creative from the Missouri offense. See if they can capitalize on that. But where championships are won, Billy, Missouri defense. They look pretty good so far, right?
I mean, 0 points in 2 games. I don't know what more you can ask for. I'd say that they've given up a few too many first downs. It hadn't really been enough for me so far. Jury's out.
That's fair. I like that. There's always room to improve. Always room to improve. But like you said, Billy, 0 points, no matter who you're playing, looks pretty good. I bring this play up, Billy. First play, run fit. Talking about run fits because, well, Boston College, they're going to run the ball. Remember what I said earlier about that defensive end from Florida State being really passive, just guarding that quarterback? I think I can't tell. I don't know if this was a give call right away, but this looks pretty similar to that read option that that Boston College is going to run. They also have that guy going on the flat like they do sometimes. So this is a pretty similar play, actually. Look at the way Missouri guards this play. This defensive end is aggressive. He takes the running back. Good play, 0 yards. And now this linebacker is going to scrape over. Bang. Oh, I'll just get the cue. Keep the ball. We'll be fine. And it is really no matter who gets the ball on this play, Billy. It's a negative play. We talked about that play earlier. I think it was the first play I brought up for Boston College where they're reading that Florida State defensive end. They're giving the ball, but no one's there to, fly in and make the play. Buffalo is basically letting this dude right here make the play. Boston College will do that, Billy. They'll let that guy make the play if he wants to. The quarterback's going to see that and he's going to pull the ball, but that linebacker will scrape over and make the play. That'd be pretty fun to see if Missouri pulls that off in the game. But, watching that game live, that happens, I'd be pretty excited because I think that's something that Missouri can capitalize on.
Yeah. Do you worry at all? You kind of get this peek inside where Carnell, who's playing slot corner on that last play, gets caught inside and they have that little flat route. I don't know if Ogbonna there had the option to pull it and throw it, but is that something you're worried about? We saw BC a couple times kind of have that third little quick outlet pass. Is that something you're worried about them hitting?
Yeah, we'll see. This play is a little bit different from the way they run it. Boston College is going to have that motion guy, and these two receivers, from what I remember, they're actually just going to run a scissors and clear out. Versus here, he's kind of actually just like going to block this guy, so it's a little bit different. But that is something you got to honor. That would be, I talked about if these two guys get the ball, it's a negative play. If he gets the ball, might not be a negative play. Like I was talking about earlier, Billy, I want to run some cover 2 or run some sort of 6 or 3 with a hard flat. I want my cornerbacks, or at least my overhangs, or someone to be aggressive in the flat. I'm really not worried about having a lot of guys deep in coverage. I don't think Boston College is going to pull the roof off. Get a cornerback that can be aggressive, take that play away, get your DN that can scrape down, take the running back away, get your linebacker that can scrape over, take the quarterback away. And I think we're going to have a pretty good game plan, Billy.
Yeah.
Now, that was a good run fit on the last play, Billy, but this one, let's play run. Not the best. That's a pretty big dude getting untouched. Now, I say this, I think you said 97 might not be the normal starter on that field side there, but this is something we got to correct it for Missouri, Billy. He is basically pass rushing. It's a good pass move, but they're not passing the ball, Billy. Boston College is not going to drop back and pass that much. They're going to do this right here. They're going to run the ball up the gut. And for Missouri, we got to get trained on just crashing down, closing our gaps. If I'm 97 here, I want to attack this guy and close this B gap. He's running upfield. In theory, Billy, he's the edge player. The ball isn't going to get outside of him. But he's not setting the edge because he's just running upfield. That running back, I mean, he's not going to run into him. It's not inhibiting him at all. Edge is still wide open. Big play for Buffalo. Let's see if Missouri can clean it up the Boston College game. Another run fit that's not too pretty. I just want to throw this one in here, Billy, because our linebackers are hesitating because of that motion. We're going to see Boston College run the motion and then run the ball up the gut. Like I was saying a couple seconds ago, I want to have a player, just one player that's honoring this, because you got to honor it.
Yeah.
If you don't honor it, they're going to throw it or run some sort of play. Let my corner, let my overhang be a flat player. And then if I'm this linebacker right here, I don't even have to worry about getting out there. I don't know, like right here, Billy, these two guys are in the same gap. See that right there? They're in the same gap. That means there's a gap open in the middle. I wish we had the back view of it, but they're in the same gap. It means there's a gap unclogged in the middle. I got to trust my flat player that he's going to be there. And look, this is your flat player. Not too sure. Or maybe it's some sort of man. Yeah, it looks like they might be bumping man. Either way, this is not his responsibility. Let's clean it up from Missouri against Boston College. If not, they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
Excuse me, up the middle, like Florida State did.
Feels like maybe Chuck Hicks, who's 30, who's that strong side linebacker. He kind of got his eyes in the backfield, maybe looking at the quarterback. Is that on the other linebacker or that backside safety to try and come in and fill that gap in the middle of the field?
Well, it definitely depends on the coverage, but as soon as, like I said, I feel like they're in some sort of man here. But right, as soon as this play happens, gaps will bump over.
Yeah.
But depending on the coverage, if his responsibility really shouldn't change based on that motion right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that, maybe he's taught to bump over when that happens, that's fine, but he's still out there in this gap. I don't know. I guess really to answer your question, but it depends on the coverage. I wish I knew exactly what they're in because it looks like, yeah, I think we're playing cover one. I think we're playing some sort of cover one here. I wish I had all the answers. Simple answer to your question, Billy. I'm going to say he's still going to be responsible for making that play because ultimately that comes to his gap. Bang, got to tackle him. Can't give up 8 yards. Let's let this one roll. Yes. This one definitely has to look familiar, right, Billy?
Right.
Boston College. I think we have this play twice here. We might. At least the same concept. Yep. Running back wheel. Buffalo doesn't compete either of them. Got to give Missouri credit. They're playing and running through a lot of traffic, and they've got the athletes to keep up with their guys here. This is cover one. That's your yellow defender. Can't see the blue safety up top, but we're playing outside leverage man here all the way across the board. They keep up with it. I'll show the last play too. Exact same thing, cover one. They're keeping up with it. Boston College was a little bit better running this play than Billy because they had receivers here that would get in the way of 14 getting there. He's there to make the play. If I'm Boston College and I figure out that Missouri's in man, I think this play could beat them. be careful. You may see that on a 3rd and 5, 4th and 5 sort of situation. We'll see how Missouri responds to that. If they see that, this formation that Boston College likes to run that play out of, maybe they can adjust. One thing I do also want to note on this play, Billy, doesn't look like it. Slight coverage bust. Do you see anyone? Kind of hard to tell. Can you see in this frame?
Yeah,
I don't know who we got.
that tight end who started off on the left side of the line of scrimmage, they motion that receiver across, and he kind of slips across the formation there.
Yep, exactly. Good answer. You're good at this. I love number 12 right here. And this is, I talked about this earlier, but I'm glad it's coming back up. Whenever a motion happens, your players have to know what all the rules are right away. We've got to know, what are my rules? Clearly, this guy knows his rule. He's doing a good job communicating it. I'm in cover one man. My guy motion, instead of running with, which Boston College, we see them run with a lot, which will, tell you're in man. This guy says, well, if this guy runs across, I'm not making that play. Let's bump it over to my safety. He'll take my man now. This guy does a good job. He hears the communication. Oh, I'll take your man. Now I'm going to play free safety. I'm a cornerback, but I can do it. I'll play free safety. Great job. But these guys right here, they both thought they had the running back. One of them should have had the tight end.
Yeah.
Bad communication. This play ultimately is not designed to go to him, but I want to show that ability because if you're Missouri, we're not playing Buffalo anymore. We're not playing Murray State. We're playing Boston College. Traditionally not the best team, but they're ranked.
Yeah.
It's a good team, Billy. Let's get that communication hammered down. If I'm defensive coordinator, Corey Batoon, let's get that communication down. Let's make sure everyone knows their rules, Billy. Boston College.
Yeah, and Castellanos is an experienced quarterback. I'd imagine CJ Agbana, who's I think a 4th-year senior at Buffalo, probably saw he had that man look and knew what he wanted was that running back on the wheel route, and just didn't think to get to his second read. But a guy like Castellanos, who's been around a while, probably going to be able to get through a progression or two and find that tight end.
Yeah, exactly, Billy. Yeah, and you can't really blame the Buffalo quarterback there. I can't, I can't remember, but that should be your open route. But Missouri had the athletes on that play to keep up with it. We'll see. That's going to be another big storyline. How are our athletes going to match up against Boston College's athletes? Boston College, they've already played some good athletes at Florida State. Might not have been the best team all around, but those guys at Florida State are probably some of the best athletes in the country. They got beat on some of those plays. Some of those plays, Florida State was kicking themselves in the foot. But we'll see, Billy. Boston College has the experience of going up against some athletes already. Missouri hasn't played at their caliber. How will Missouri respond with the pressure at home, playing a ranked team? Will they see good athletes for the first time and, get a little nervous, or will they be confident in their own athletic abilities? And this kind of goes back to that too, Billy. This is just playing man to man. Let's go back. Cover one. Both teams love the cover one, Billy. Right here, you can see giving it away. Outside leverage man, outside leverage man, outside leverage man. This guy's on the running back. Kind of hard to tell right now, but this is your yellow safety, your yellow linebacker in the middle. You got that blue safety up top taking away the post. This guy kind of on an island, like we were talking about earlier. You can't really see down here. He's playing inside leverage because if this guy runs a post, it's probably harder to get that help from the safety, but you're trusting yourself that far out that this is a really tough throw to make. Plays good coverage. It is a tough throw to make. I expect Missouri's athletes to play cover. When it's a true passing down, if Boston College tries to spread the ball and pass the ball, you really hope that Missouri can lock them down if they do on this play. Force Boston College to try to get in that QB run stuff. The running back wheels, a little bit of, RPO trickery stuff. If Boston College can throw the ball on 3rd down effectively, throw the deep ball, I think we're in for a little bit of trouble. But, Missouri has shown so far that that's one of their advantages on defense. So, let's see.
Yeah, I don't know if you can detect a whole lot from this, but this is a package they like to use a lot on 3rd and long. And I think this is going to be a key against Castellanos is you put 7 defensive backs on the field. You got your 2 pass rushing ends in the game. Your only linebacker on the field is Khalil Jacobs, who's one of the better chase down guys that I've seen that Missouri's had in a while, and I think he's going to be used as a spy a lot in this ball game. But you know, again, it's that one look, right? You got Sidney Williams down here just kind of floating around in the middle, a deep safety, and everyone else playing that outside leverage.
Yeah, Billy, sorry, which linebacker did you say was the great chase down linebacker?
29 right
29?
there. Yeah. So three, I mean, Sidney Williams
Yeah.
is a safety. He's a safety by trade. They just love to bring him in on this dime package on 3rd and long.
You know, Billy, I love what you just said because you just described this play that's about to happen perfectly. Billy. They came in here, they played dime, they put all their best athletes. They know they're passing the ball. They got in here, they got our chase down linebacker playing a QB spy. He's sitting there. We're gonna be quite all right, Billy. If Missouri can get Boston College in the 3rd, and I'm gonna say anything over 7, and you put this package out there, I really like Missouri's defense, like you just said. If we've got a QB spy, I mean, you're right. They're again, this is Buffalo, but they're getting to the quarterback pretty quickly with a 3-man rush, and you've got that QB spy just in case he gets there. You can't see all the guys downfield, but really none of these guys are open.
Yeah.
Advantage Missouri on this, in this call, 3rd and long. Can we get into that point there? That's the real question. But yeah, you described this play perfectly. He loves it too. You got to love that. I mean, that's another thing, Billy. We've talked about all the X's and O's, the chess. I love breaking the stuff down. At the end of the day, Billy, that's for the coaches to figure out. Like I said, they've got to put their players in the position to know, we don't need to do too much communication on the field. We know what we do based on the call. And these guys are just going to go out there and play football, Billy. They got to hit people. They got to run fast. They got to be fired up. I mean, that's what's so special about football, Billy. We're breaking out. We're basically talking like it's a chess game right now. But these guys are out here going to war, basically, boxing or whatever, right? I mean, it's really one of the only sports that, mixes all this, I keep saying chess, but I think it's the best analogy.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff in there while also being so physical, so grueling, whatnot. Yeah. Expect these players to be fired up, to be hitting hard. I mean, one thing, Missouri loves to hit hard. Boston College is going to come in here and come hit, especially some of those cornerbacks and linebackers. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but it'll be a physical game. Third time Buffalo's run this play, Billy. Now this play, let's see if they, yep. This is more like the Boston College play. They execute this one a little bit better here. He's a little bit more open on this play because, as we said, number 14, shout out 14, he's going the running back here. Look what he's got to work through. He does a good job getting around it. But still, if that's a good throw, that's a first down. Boston College will run this play. I mean, this is such a popular play right now in football. We face this play, in practice all the time. It really pisses me off because a lot of times, a little tangent, we'll do like our linebackers, if we're doing, Skelly or just a passing segment of practice, they'll make them do an up down to get a run read sometimes. But there'll be times we have a linebacker that has to do up down. Imagine if 14 had to do an up down real quick. Up down. Okay, now I got to work through this guy, and now this dude 10 yards downfield on me. Like,
yeah.
But I say it pisses me off because this is a great play. Ultimately, if I'm an offensive coordinator, I got to get my mind, in the defensive coordinator's head and say, what does he not want me to do? I think that's like art of war stuff or something, right? Like I'm sure Sun Tzu said that back in the day.
Right.
Think, what do they not want me to do? If you're in man-to-man here and I'm that linebacker, I'm saying, all right, please don't run that halfback wheel where I got to work you guys. Boston College is going to run it. We'll see if they can capitalize on that. And say that word a lot, Billy. That's split. They got to capitalize on.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have one more in here. Let's see. I just want to show an example of Missouri not actually playing man-to-man here. A lot of times, this is what you want to talk about. A lot of times, this cornerback back here, Billy, I think there was a play earlier I was going to hit on it. I forgot to, but I can draw it out here. a lot of times what we'll do, we'll play zone to the field, which we're doing here, and then we'll lock this cornerback up backside. He's really the only threat. We trust our boundary corner. That's our best cover guy on the team. We can play zone up top, get the numbers game up top, and then lock this guy down where he knows I got him everywhere over here. If for some reason he crosses my face, he's probably running to help. That's a good coverage concept. You see that a lot these days when you're playing split safety. This play could be really advantageous against Boston College. We're showing them we're playing lock. No, I'm a flat defender. That is going to be a potentially very good coverage against Boston College. Like I said, I really want a lot of good, flat defenders, play some cover two here. I think this is just a cover two to the boundary. Got to make that play though.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. You want this guy to go inside, funnel him, help your safety out. Got to make that play.
Yeah, and Nick DeLoach, I think this is one of the reasons he kind of played less in week 2. He was battling for that second safety spot. We'll see if he gets back in there. But you're right. I mean, this is a good way to throw him off balance. I imagine Boston College is going to be licking their chops. I know Will Walling when he's looking down, at his play sheet on that third and medium, that wheel play is going to be sitting there calling his name, once or twice in this ball game, and this is an effective check. I think an effective curveball that Corey Batoon can throw at him to maybe help get those stops.
Exactly. Yeah, and we talked about both the teams played a lot of cover one on third downs. The reason they did that, Billy, is because they could. I mean, these guys were locked down in cover one. We said Florida State got some separation. They weren't making the throws. In week 1, week 2, if I'm a defensive coordinator, let me just sit in what I want to play and not have to show you too much stuff that I'm going to eventually run. If I can lock you down playing the same coverage every time, I'll just run that every time. Don't make it confusing on my guys, and I'm winning. And now that opens, we went through all this film, but it's still really early in the season, Billy. We're going to see a lot of new stuff from both coordinators on both sides of the ball. It'll be exciting to see how, because these guys we just went through this for what felt like almost 2 hours, maybe hour and a half. These defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, head coaches, they're doing this all day, every day. I mean, they are breaking this down to a T. We've got a good general understanding of it, but they're going to be studying it so much, figuring out ways they can capitalize. So we're allowed to figure out ways they can capitalize, on different little tendencies and whatnot. So it'll be exciting to see what Boston come out with.
And you're right. There's probably going to be a lot of wrinkles. Will Walling and Tim Lewis, both first-year coordinators for Boston College. I know they showed a lot of stuff against Florida State, but I'm sure there's still a lot in the tank. You look at the Missouri side, this is Corey Batoon's first game against a power team. Kirby Moore, his second year as the OC, but I'm sure he's had stuff in the offseason that's been brewing that he's excited to break out. Real quickly, Ryan, give me a key for Missouri on offense. Give me a key for Missouri on defense. And tell me who wins the game and what's the final score on Saturday.
Oh, I haven't come up with my prediction yet. I should have known you're going to hit me.
Okay, well, we can wait on the prediction then. But
no. Let me
you want to?
Off my head. Yeah. Let me think about it. I think. Well, first of all, let's hit the key. I'll start with Missouri defense because it's the one that is going to be really obvious. Stop the run. Stop the run. Stop the run.
Yeah.
You're only going to get them in third and long if you stop the run. Once you're in third and long, I feel like we've hit the promised land. That's when we get to have some fun, attack the quarterback, whatnot. Stop the run. Stop the run. I'll say it 3 more times. Stop the run. Stop the run. Stop the run. You got to stop the run. If you're Missouri's offense, like you said, I think quick game is going to be the most important part of this game. Establishing the run is going to be important too, but if we can hit our quick passes, like you said, timing, if we can make it hard on Boston College, if we can get open, when they're playing cover one, hit little quick slants, quick out routes, whatnot, that'll be really important. If you can consistently do that, Missouri will drive down the field. Boston College won't be able to drive down the field. I think we talked about it earlier in the week. This isn't going to be a game with big shots. It's going to be two teams trying to drive the ball on each other. That's what they do well. If you're the defense, stop the run. If you're the offense, hit the quick game. They won't be able to drive the ball. Missouri will be able to drive the ball. I think Missouri pulled it out, Billy. I think the home crowd is going to help them. I think Boston College is going to get out to a good start. I think Missouri's crowd helps them in the end. I'm going to go 31. No, I'm going to go 27. 14. Missouri.
Okay.
Let's go 27-14.
27-14. So Missouri gets the win, does not get the cover. Ryan, thank you so much for doing this. I hope to have you back on because, man, this was a great breakdown today. And I know you're excited to see this game in person on Saturday. I, for one, can't
I'm
wait
so
either.
pumped. Yeah,
The
I
only
can't wait.
ranked unranked matchup in college football on Saturday. So should be a good one.
Been game day.
Yeah.
Been game day.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow, 8 a.m. on Friday to give you the final preview before Mizzou takes on Boston College Saturday. Thank you for listening. It's been a special edition of CoMo Coffee, the film room with Ryan Schmadtke. Thank you again.